Someone said this to me the other day, and it was about books. They were like, you don't need to read a book to memorize every single line in the book. Like, get one or two things out of the book and move on with your fucking life, or go back and reread it like later. The best part about, like, take the course, hire the consultant. Like, the more money you spend, the more you're gonna put pressure on yourself to get 100% or 150%. But what you're saying is like, hey, you made the investment and it created the space in your life for it to become this thing. Like, you got something really great out of it, and the potential is unlimited. So it doesn't always look like the thing we tell ourselves in our mind's eye that it's going to look like.
Yeah, I love what you just said there, where you're like, it creates the space in your life for something. Investments are essentially a container. So, and it's just an exchange of energy. So you put a certain amount of money toward a thing for a certain outcome. You may or may not get the thing that you thought the objective was going to be from that. It could be like, I've had this happen where I'll be like, I paid for XYZ mastermind or XYZ community. Didn't get the thing out of what I thought I would, but I ended up meeting somebody who got me on their podcast that then signed a bunch of clients, or whatever wraparound way. Yeah. And I think the thing is true for books as well. And of course, I'm a writer, so I'm going to have this viewpoint. But like, when I read a book, I read a lot of books. I probably read 2 to 3 books a week, and it comes with the job. It comes with the job.
You're good. I wish.
Comes with the job. I'm very strategic about it.
I read a lot of books, but they have a lot of like peekaboo flaps in them, and they're made out of cardboard.
Oh yeah. It's good for your creation. Yeah, it's good for a creation. But the thing about books in general, same is true for children's books, especially if you get to a certain age. Children's books are actually written for the adults and that are reading them. The kids don't remember. So like, those books, a lot of times, depending on the content you're reading, those are written for adults. Like, children's book authors are writing for adults.
The same thing with like children's movies. Like, Shrek is for the adults. Like,
raise your hand if you've cried to Moana. Like, come on, it's written for adults.
They all are. Oh yeah,
they all are. And that's the thing with children's literature, especially, but any book, like those. I read so many books. Even if you read a book and you love it, you're not going to remember a scene by scene breakdown of what happened. They're intended and written in a way where you're going to get some kind of lesson or theme, and they're written where they appeal at the universal level, where what resonates with me may not resonate with you, but we're each going to have some kind of takeaway from it. And like, I'm a big book rereader. So I've read my favorite book of all time is East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I've read it 8 times. It's probably like 600 pages, I think. But every time I read that book, I get something different from it. And I think the thing to remember here is books are essentially a portal as well. Like, they essentially give you some kind of thing to take away or learn. They, if written well, are also the kind of thing when you reread them, they impact you differently, and you are going to get exactly what you need out of it at the exact precise moment. It's the same thing, like the same way consciousness works, and even the same way business works. If we all knew how we're going to make $1 million on day one, like, we wouldn't be ready for it. Like, we quite literally wouldn't have the foundations or anything else. So it's that growth over time, and kind of what you're unlocking in perfect timing is the thing that allows you to connect with it. So it doesn't matter if it's books or a specific course, or you're listening to this podcast right now and you got some kind of nugget from it. Like, that information was meant to find you in that moment for whatever's happening. You couldn't possibly store every single insight we've had in this episode. Like, maybe you have it in your journal, but there's going to be one that likely sticks out the most. And that's true with any kind of content, or what I call elevated art, where it's not just like, See Spot Run. It's like, Charlotte's Web, like Harry Potter, like these things that have more deeper subtext going on than just like,
the non-obvious lesson, right? There's the non-obvious side of what they're trying to teach you.
Yep.
I'm curious. One of the things that I want to do, like, I want to write a book as well, but my approach is different. Instead of like writing it and then binding it and shipping it, we're going to write it in public, and we're going to basically publish it one chapter at a time. We'll do like the paid Substack route. We're going to publish it one chapter at a time. And basically the concept is simple, right? How do you write a book that never ends? And then people would love to subscribe or buy a book that never ends. And you said you have 8 books in the hopper. Like,
that's just, I have one book. My second book is literally, it is currently plotted and ready to write. Like it has been ready to write for an entire year. Like that's just what I do.